Yo, what's good? It's your man 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. The trade deadline is done. It's over with. The Detroit Pistons made their moves, and I want to dive into it. I wanted to do this video because I think it's important to distinguish that not every team is the same. Not every situation is the same. And when you listen to most of these critics and pundits about how the trade deadline went for the Detroit Pistons, it's because they're talking about it from the perspective of looking at their own team or other playoff teams. The idea of acquiring assets, meaning contracts that are movable and getting draft picks and things that allow you for this flexibility, stay under the cap, none of those things apply to the Detroit Pistons. They are incredibly far under the cap. In fact, they're closer to the minimum that they have to make sure that they make in terms of contracts given out. On top of that, they have too many young players. They've already been trying to get rid of them. So they don't need any more draft picks. They don't need first rounders. Besides, this is not even a deep draft. This is not a high-end draft where you have potential all-stars. Like anybody who becomes an all-star in this draft, it's like, oh, okay, I got it. Okay. You didn't really see that coming, right? You're going to have a random guy who maybe elevates, but it's going to be random. More than likely, whatever draft pick y'all think that they should have gotten for Bojan Bogdanovic was going to be for this draft in 2024. And you're going to end up with another Isaiah Livers. You're going to end up with another Marvin Bagley III. You're going to end up with another, who else got sent out? Killian Hayes, Kevin Knox. These are the type of talents that you're going to pick up in the first round of this draft. And you don't need any more young guys to have to figure out, to send down to the G League, to see if they can work their way up, see if they can contribute, to see if they can figure it out. That's going to add to a team that's still dribbling the ball off their foot. So when you hear a lot of people saying, like, oh, they could have got a first rounder last season if they had traded Bojan Bogdanovic. Did y'all see this last game against the Portland Trail Blazers? Do y'all remember what they looked like before Bojan Bogdanovic got back from his injuries? At the beginning of the season, how bad they looked, they looked really bad. And this game against Portland was a reminder of that. They needed those veterans. They needed them just to play okay NBA level basketball, not playoff level, not even play in, but respectable, have a chance. And most importantly, having the support that actually allows your young, talented players to have an opportunity to develop. Because you don't develop when you're not playing winning basketball. And when you're playing out of position and out of order, it's no good for you. This free agency was about trimming the fat and replacing those veterans who were far past their prime, mid to late 30s, right? Burks, Bogdanovic. And replacing them with guys who could play their role, but who are younger. Quentin Grimes, Fontecchio, essentially are Alec Burks and Bogdanovic's replacements. And their job is to maintain the stability of this roster, to maintain the stability of the offense, to make sure that there's enough depth to hold guys accountable and not have them have to play minutes that they're not ready for, so that as they're growing and learning, they actually have the floor balance and guys who can cover for some of their weaknesses. That's what they're there for. That's why you have Mike Muscala still on this team. And so before you guys start assessing and saying, oh, we did terrible, you're already a bad team. You got talent, yes, totally. But you're a bad team, and you're trying to figure yourselves out. You're not trying to acquire more assets. You're not a playoff team. You're not the Orlando Magic. You're not the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're not even the Atlanta Hawks. You don't have a guy who's made an all-star game yet. You don't have an all-NBA guy. You don't have the validated guy yet. So this trade deadline, I give them a B. You did what you were supposed to do. You made sure that you brought in the replacements for the older vets, who also, if you understand NBA basketball, the Detroit Pistons did them a solid by releasing Gallinari, by releasing Killian Hayes, by releasing the guys who didn't want to be here for this rebuild, giving them an opportunity to play someplace where they can win because they played extremely hard for you, even though they knew it wasn't winning. And you reward that because that allows you to attract free agents knowing that you're going to do right by them, not sending them to a Charlotte to get more assets. And I know some people were like, oh, Killian Hayes, da, da, da. Look, he got released because nobody wanted to pick up a $10 million player option. And so nobody was making any deals for him. So they did him a solid in a contract year, and they just released him and allowed another team to pick him up for either a vet minimum, or not a vet minimum, but a minimum deal. And he can have an opportunity to pick and choose and have an opportunity to play, to stay in the league, because I think he's an NBA player. They just had moved on from him. And this was a part of trimming the fat. So as I assess this, please keep in mind where the Detroit Pistons are at, not where you think they're at or where you want them to be. All right, I'm done with the video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It was a long night. Came home to watch the Portland game. Probably shouldn't have done it because that shit was ugly. Check out the other video for my download on that. Peace.